Well, um, I wanted to sit on my porch. It's a beautiful day to have this dialogue, this monologue with you. And many of you will think that the title of this is a little harsh, but I don't care because, I've recognized that there are a lot of things that need to be said in this community that people aren't saying, and people are bottling up, and people are being harmed because people aren't saying it, don't feel safe to say it, all kinds of things. But I'm coming to you because I spent a great majority of this weekend reading the words of white men in tech who are, for whatever reasons, are opting out of doing the work that needs to be done to improve inclusion and diversity because they're getting their feelings hurt. They're getting their feelings hurt. This is just like, wow, is this not elementary school? And I don't want to discount that, you do or say something and the things you've done or said in the past have worked, or they've gone by, or people laughed at your jokes and it was all good. But now that it's you can't say and do what you've normally said and done, and people are challenging you on it. Your feelings are hurt, and then you say, well, I'm not gonna engage anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. And I'm gonna tell you, white dudes in tech, you make me fucking laugh. You are hysterical. You have the most privilege in this industry, and yet, even being corrected, even being told that, yeah, that may have been great 2 years ago, hell, last week, and that may not have been your intention to harm, blah, 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 but you've done something, you've said something that's harmful and has caused disruption or discomfort in someone else. And you fall back in your fragility. You fall back into, but I've been hurt. I'm so upset. I can't even speak anymore. I can't mentor women because I might be accused of sexual harassment. I can't make this joke anymore. I can't do this. And so I'm just going to throw my hands up and I'm not going to be your ally anymore. And I'm like, fuck your feelings, dudes. You do not, oh my God, what you're dealing with are, not even this much of what people are dealing with on a daily basis to come into this space to work, to create products and services, to get paid. And you whine about it. I spent all day yesterday with Ben Lish, whatever his last name is, as he did this whole this Twitter thread about his feelings, and then you get all the other white fragile ass dudes who want to co-sign, and then I called his ass out. I did, because I'm tired of it's just like, I'm tired of whisper networks, which are, if you don't know what a whisper network is, when people are in this exclusive little club and they tell everybody who not to bring to conferences, who not to invite to things, who not to go out with, these kind of things, because these individuals are toxic or whatever to the community, but no one else knows about it. So everybody else is exposed to harm, while these very few elite privileged individuals, and I say privileged because that means, again, for me, when I define privilege, is access. The people with access to these whisper networks are protected from harm from these individuals, but everybody else isn't. And I'm tired of this. I'm tired of people using this as an excuse. Well, I'm just afraid to, my job. And yeah, I get it. I'm going to put a period on that because I was going to say, but I get it. And yet you're allowing harm to come to other people. So I don't do whisper networks, and I definitely don't do subtweets. And subtweets are that bullshit where and then it's just more work for me to figure out what the fuck you're talking about, where you're talking about somebody in a tweet but you don't mention them, or you don't even do a screenshot of the fucking conversation. You just assume that I know what the hell you're talking about, and now I got to go investigate who the hell has been on your timeline. I ain't got time for all that. That's just too much fucking work. It's so passive aggressive. I don't do passive aggressive. And what I have to say is, fuck your feelings. If your allyship, this is why I don't like the word ally. I don't fucking believe in allies, because for the majority of white men in tech, they will be allies as long as there's no ally working. As long as there's nothing that they have to do. So they want ally, but not allyship, which is an action. And so it's frustrating, but it's really, as a former high school teacher, it's like, damn, we're doing this? Your grown ass is making thousands of dollars a year more than the average person. You can easily get a new job because you have a network that women and marginalized, LGBTQ, underrepresented, people of color, people with disabilities don't have. And yet I'm supposed to care about your feelings when you've said something or done something that's harmed somebody else who's not as in the same position as you, not in the same power structure as you, and I'm supposed to give a fuck about your feelings? Oh, man. You got to do better than this. You got to do better than this, because what I've been talking about over the last year is you will be obsolete. And that's the fear that you need to face. Because we, as a community, and I don't want to talk about society as a whole, even though it's a lot of it is shown there, but as a community in tech, we've allowed many of you to just come with mediocre ass effort, mediocre ass thoughts, mediocre ass word, just being mediocre, just being fucking, just average. And what you're going to find out is when you bring more marginalized people in these communities who've had to work their asses off just to get in the door, yeah, it's going to be, business leaders are going to be, do I really need this individual? And even with the white dudes who are starting these companies and, they have all the privilege and power. Yeah, many of us are no longer looking to be at your table. We're actually building our own tables to compete with you. And because we start off with inclusion and diversity as an ethics, as a foundation, as a DNA of our company, it's embedded in embedded in everything that we do. We're not looking for a chief diversity inclusion officer, that kind of crap. It's how we build our businesses. And so because we're causing less harm, we're minimizing harm, we will be the products and services that are the go-to. And so increasingly, white dudes, what you need to realize is that your feelings are being hurt now. The pain that you have coming later is so much worse than your feelings being hurt. And so I would encourage you to embrace that. I get my feelings hurt all the time. Do I fold and walk away? No. That's just how marginalized individuals have learned to be in this space. We get our feelings hurt. We could be walking down the street and out of nowhere, something happens to us that we just need to internalize, figure out. All these calculations, are we safe? Can we do all these other things in that space just to get to the next thing? And we keep going because we have no choice. The reason you can elect out of being an ally, the reason you can get on Twitter and complain about your feelings being hurt is because you have privilege, and with privilege comes choice. You have the choice to opt out of helping. But as I said before, you won't have that choice for very long because the community is changing. The status quo is being challenged every single day. And unless you develop the skills you need to cope with being comfortable with being uncomfortable, you will be obsolete. Your worst nightmares will come true. So it's not a threat. That's definitely a promise. And I'm going to end on this. Fuck your feelings. You're grown ass men. Learn whatever self-development tools you need so that you can develop and cultivate and deal with your feelings like every other normal ass human being on earth. Thank you and have a wonderful day.